Okay, mostly I'm doing yard work, growing loofahs, and working on cars that break down. But this refrigerator stopped working 2 days ago, and I pulled the insides out of the shelves and things so that I could kind of clean them up, wiped off all the gunk. I got to go clean more has been out there because I had to take doors off just to get it out of that space because it hits the windowsill. And looking at it from here, I don't have my flashlight. Basically, I cleaned all the fins on here. I checked this fan's working. The fan up top in the freezer's working. Compressor, nada. Nothing's happening. So what I found out is this is a start relay here. It's got a capacitor here, which helps boost it to get the thing to start when it first triggers on. It needs a lot of current to kick it off and go. So that capacitor does that. So the capacitor could be bad and it's not kicking on at all. Start relay could be bad, it's not kicking on, or it kicks on and turns off again. So I'm going to pull this guy out, take a good look at it, do some voltmeter checks and see what I find. I did a quick rundown with some lights. Lumens, as one of my favorite YouTube guys would call it. So I've kind of cleaned that out as best I could with a little long brush that's used for the dryers. Look back through here, we had some mice or rats in there. I saw some spots like this wire right there. I don't know if you can see it, but there was some chewing actions going on. Mice were eating the insulation off. And then there's the start relay and capacitor. I unplugged the capacitor yesterday just to look at it. So now I know the whole story about it. And there's the fan, which does start up and run. I'll do a quick check before I take anything out just to show that. Okay, plug this in.
Like Grandpa's on the ground like this.
Yeah, I'm checking this.
He's on the ground.
And, whoa.
That's my thing.
So everything is supposed to click and start up. We'll see, may take a minute. In which case, the fan should start running. There we go, there's the fan running. Now, compressor should go come on and make some noise, but it doesn't. And it doesn't come on and stay on for 5 seconds and go off. So that's the part I gotta figure out. Might be just the cap is no good and it can't start up. Butch, you're in my way there. Hey, move it. So that's the story. I got this up against the wall, so I can't show you the fan up in the freezer, but that's running also. I checked that yesterday. So next step, unplug and pull out the start relay and do some checks with the ohmmeter. Well, it wouldn't be good to be touching that, that's for sure. Good thing. So what we found is the mice or rats had indeed chewed this wire right through that goes to the start relay. So I'm going to patch that together and see what happens. Maybe that's the only problem.
I think you need
Should make sense.
You need wire tape. Butch, don't you dare lick that.
Oh boy. Butch, you're not doing your job. You're supposed to catch the rats. Don't let them in the house. Okay, so I pulled the unit out. Here it is, the start relay, which may turn out to be fine. And I'm going to test this capacitor just to kind of show you what it does. What we do is, I've got it on the 200K reading here. What you're doing is the voltage coming out of these when they're in a resistance mode is what makes the capacitor charge up or discharge. So you put it on there. Nothing. Okay, now switch it the other way and it should start to count up. It's hard to do this with one hand. up and reverse it. And it counts down again. So basically the ohm meter puts out a voltage, and that causes the capacitor to charge in one direction. You reverse the lead, it discharges and recharges in the other direction, which is what makes the readings change on a resistance mode. So that one is good. And let me see if I can check these here. From what I saw in one video, they had a bunch of goop got it down in there and wrecked the board. So I'm just going to do a quick check on these pins here to see what I got. So what I understand is supposed to jump these 2 points here and then measure these 3 at all the different angles and get a bunch of different readings there. I'm not sure I fully understand what they're supposed to mean, but I did get some readings kind of similar to the capacitor that's across the end. And no doubt it would be different if I didn't have the capacitor on there. So I'm not going to try to explain that. And I don't think that's the problem anyways because of the wiring. So back over here, I cut this wire back and cut the other wire back. And so I am going to solder those two together. I prefer soldering over crimps. It's a little more guarantee, but it depends on how much wire you have to work with. I think I have enough to work with, so I'm gonna give it a chance here. This blue wire goes in here and up to this plug here, but it's soldered and heat shrunk onto one of the main leads from the power cord. So I'm not going to bother to try to open that up. I'll just come straight to the end of that wire. If I had to, I would end up extending the wire out a little bit and make 2 connections, but I'm going to see if I can do it with one. A little hard to do and hold a camera. I'll have to get a stand to do this stuff so I don't have to hold the camera. At any rate, I did manage to solder both tips and then solder them together. Get my tubing on there, which hopefully you don't forget to put on. And then I'll just use the heat from this gun to kind of shrink that down. And I'm going to do that without the camera, just so I don't burn anything else. Okay, coming up to the moment of truth. So I patched that wire back together. I'm going to plug it back into the relay. And I'm going to plug the relay back into there. And then we shall see if it's going to start up. Okay, moment of truth. So I'm going to put this camera up here. And I'm going to go switch everything on. I don't drop needs a tripod. Okay, well, cancel that idea. I'm gonna go plug it in and see what happens here. Okay, we're plugged in. Let's see. Take a little while for things to start up. Fan should start, and then the compressor should come on. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. There we go. There's our fan, and I heard the compressor click at the same time. Yay! That was it. Just had to do the repair for the darn rats and mice. They sure cause a lot of problems. And I've been trying to trap them and get them out of here, so. All right, I'm gonna let that run for a while, and then I'm gonna have to clean up this whole messy area back here, and then I'll plug that back in place. Repair on refrigerator done. Saved me $75 copay for my home warranty. I can cancel them. Been a good day and a bad day. Michaela needed a ride to school, which kind of was starting it out as a bad day already. Then I backed the Kia out. Didn't notice how close I was to the truck, and Ken opened it right into the back of the truck here. Bent the bumper on the truck too. thing, it's another. Yeah. Did a job against the truck and then caught this bumper and twisted it out further than it was. Actually, this part here was already there from one of those parking cement pieces. Oh boy. Well, refrigerator's fixed and my refrigerator is working, and I can cancel that home repair for $75 and keep that money in my pocket.